Okay, YouTube, this is the other car that I'm going to be using to pull parts out of. And the funny thing is, there's not a ton of information on the internet about them. So I've not seen a video where somebody removes this dash. And so I have no idea how it's going to come out, but I also need to put one in the other car. So I guess the only way to really do that is by pulling this dash out. Okay, so this is the horn. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I guess, is pull off this steering wheel so that it's out of the way. And so the horn was kind of sitting in here like this. And I thought that it would need an Allen wrench to pull these little Allen screws out. Well, they're not actually Allen screws. So I reached down there to grab it, or you see the Allen wrenches there. I tried to take it out. Literally just pulled up on it and it come right out. And then there's those two little electrical connections there, and I'm gonna try to use this horn because I don't have one on the other car. So we're one part closer already. Alright, well, back again. I got the nut off of this steering wheel, and on the other car I took the nut off and the steering wheel just basically fell out. But I've jerked and jerked and this one didn't come. And I also couldn't find my steering wheel puller, which I don't think it's actually going to be that big a deal because I really don't need the dash. And because I got one, and this one's kind of screwed up. I think the glove box is busted over there, and you know, there's a break in that glass. But what I really need, I need the instruments, and I need this metal piece up there, and I need all the bolts and screws because I have a good dash that's already sitting in the car up there, but I don't have a dash pad that's in pretty good shape, but I don't have the bolts. And I could go buy them, but then I need to know how it goes back together. So I'm just out here to pull this apart so I can see how it goes. So I'll probably drop the steering column on this, probably just drop it down, and then that'll be that. Maybe I can get the bolts and everything else and then figure out how it goes together. So got the dash pad out. That was actually pretty easy. There are these little spots here, the screws that go in there, and it holds on the front side, so you got to get up under the dash a little bit to get them. And then on the back, you'll get all those screws out and they'll lift out. They're just Phillips head screws. And on the back you got two little screws there that one screw here, one screw there, and that holds the back side of the dash pad down. So this dash pad is ripped, obviously. It's crappy. And this metal piece kind of looks a little worse than I thought, but I think I can paint it. So to change that out, there's a series of screws that go from the metal piece. I don't know what it's called, sorry, I just don't know. And then pull those screws out, and I should be able to put the new dash pad on. So that's neat. So this is what we got now. Lots of other stuff going on up here. Not real sure what. I mean, this is loose because I started getting a little carried away with the screws, and I think I'll have to disconnect that somehow, get that out. But I haven't really looked at that yet. I just yeah. And it looks like I believe that's duct work, and that is not currently in the other car, so I'll probably have to save that. Oh yeah, that's ducts for the vents, for the defrost. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Let you know more when I know more. Alright, so I got this cluster cover off. It's actually much simpler than I thought. So you have the screws, And then the only thing that's holding you on here is this knob, and if you just pull it off, and then it just comes right out of there. So funny. I may not have the patience to do this restore. I don't know. So I just want to make a disclaimer. I'm definitely not a mechanic. I can work on cars a little bit here and there, but as far as knowing what I'm doing, I don't. And this is a prime example. I think I have another instrument panel, so I kind of got frustrated because I broke it a little bit as soon as I got it loose. And I noticed that this, I guess it's a circuit board, but it's kind of made of plastic, so I really don't know what that is. I'm sure it's important. Well, it ripped a little bit when I started pulling it out. And once I realized it was ripped, well, fuck it, right? And just jerked it out of there. Anyway, it's worth noting that there's a plug right here that plugs into, looks like your RPM gauge. Okay, and it's 2 prongs. It's actually not that hard to get out if you know what you're doing, but it goes back there and pulls out. That wasn't what was holding me up. I could have pulled it out to get it out enough, but I've never removed an instrument panel before, so I may be, this might be common among all cars, but this goes to the speedometer. There's a cable right there. My bet is you disconnect it from under the hood. So I'm going to chase that down and see if I can find it. But it doesn't have like a ton of play, so I couldn't get the instrument panel out far enough to see what's going on. And then like there's just, even with the dash pad off, there's not a lot of room up here to look. And the window, you can't see. Yeah, it's extremely dirty. Probably should have cleaned it, you know, way live and learn, right? Anyway, the part that I wanted to know again was how this dash goes back in, and if I have to buy a instrument panel to replace the one that I just destroyed. Oh well, this one was pretty fucking easy to destroy anyway. It fell into pieces. So I'm gonna see if there's a cable under the hood and go from there. Okay, so here's what goes on here. The speedometer cable it comes out of the firewall, comes down here and makes a loop. Now, you see that clip? If you pull the speedometer cable out of that clip, then you'll get enough play in this to pull it out and actually take it apart. So that was a mistake, but didn't know that till I ripped it out of there, so whatever. Onward.